Happy Thursday, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Lean Coaching for Lean Coaches. And I am just so stoked to be here with you all, as always, because what we're going to be talking about today is honestly, one of my favorite topics in all of marketing and all of LinkedIn, because I think it is one that so many folks, job seekers, professionals, entrepreneurs, miss out on a huge piece that could be paying them so many dividends. And so today we're going to be talking about connection requests. So buckle up. We are going to be having lots of fun today. Now, of course, as always, my goal is to help you as a lean coach in your journey. So if you're someone who is looking to make the jump from their current 9 to 5, you're feeling stuck and held back, not seen, and you're wanting to start your own thing, that is what I absolutely love doing. Seeing somebody go from feeling like so held back to being able to grow and flourish and like actually be excited about doing this thing that they do. So thank you so much for being here. And of course, if you are in need of that kind of support, please feel free to reach out anytime. And I'm happy to be there for you. But dive right into today's conversation around um, connections. And of course, if you're here in, love to hear from you. If you've got questions or thoughts, drop those in the comments. Would love to engage with you. Adam, so great to have you here as always. And, as you know, these replays are always available. So you can check them out. You can check them out on YouTube. Got a whole playlist of all of the lean coaching for lean coaches. So if there was a guest that you enjoyed that session or you're wondering about that, you can go back and check it out. If you liked, LR Whedon, or you enjoyed Jonathan this last week on Tuesday, you can go back and check those out. Or if you enjoyed some of the other ones where we talked about marketing and marketing basics, please feel free to go back, check those out anytime. But there's three items today. And over the next few weeks, we're going to be talking about this idea of moving from connection to conversation, to having a call with someone, to actually having a client. So especially for those of you that are looking to be entrepreneurs, but even for those of you that are looking to move forward in your career, all of these principles you can take and apply in your journey. So, and a lot of these are going to be hopefully taking high level concepts, so seeing the big picture and then giving you some tactics to be able to take and apply and move out so that you can really hopefully see some impact and some difference in your journey as you move forward. And as always, these are tactics, strategies that don't just like give you overnight like success and results. Yes, you'll see outcomes that will be helpful for you, but the bigger picture is hopefully what you'll be able to see over time. So as we're thinking about connection requests, there are three things that like in terms of a strategy or tactics that I want you to go out and give a try. And those three things are making sure that you're clear on your people and finding those people. So it's finding your people. So this takes into account that you already know who your people are. So if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a solopreneur and you've got a business, that you know who your, I don't even like the word, your ICP, the person that you seek to support, your ideal person, that you're clear on who that is and you have a clear picture of who that is. Like example, for me, it's those people, those lean practitioners that love people, that love what they do, but they're feeling stuck and they want to launch their own thing. They just don't feel the confidence in that, and they don't know the first step, where to start, or the next step, where to go. So, who are your people? And this piece though is, where are your people hanging out? Because too often I find people who I talk to and support who are like, well, I need to go on to LinkedIn and I need to, do something with my profile. I need to go to more events, or I need to comment over here. And my question to them is, well, who are the people that you're trying to reach? And maybe if you're like a job seeker or something, and you're looking for a new job as a practitioner, Well, who are those people that you're looking to meet? So if you're not clear on who those people are, then you can't go find them. So first of all, of course, know who your people are. And we've talked about those on previous episodes. So if you're interested, of course, go look back on those episodes around finding your people or who your people are, but finding your people. So there are so many different ways of where you can find your people, right? Of course, you can go to people's profiles, right? Um, but the places that I find that where I can meet those people that I'm looking and seeking to support are posts, right? Groups and events. So, what do I mean by that? So, the people that where I will typically, engage with and find the people that I'm looking to support are on a lot of those people who might have, I don't even like the word, to be quite honest with you, influencers, people that have a large group of following in your niche, right? In that area that you're looking to be. So who are those people that might have, you know 15, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, 500,000 followers, right? And also that are posting regular content, right? So the idea is that you're finding people in your area, who are mingling with your ideal client and are posting like meaningful content on a regular basis. Ideally, it's a few times a week, even daily would be great. There are a few folks that I follow, that I engage with, that I love to comment on and engage with. Paul Dunlap is one of them. Um, there's also Florian Palatini that I engage with on a regular basis. Katie Anderson, Patrick Adams. There are other folks out there that I look for their posts, and then when they post, then I'll engage with their content. And the way that you will meet your people is on those posts, you're engaging and providing a meaningful comment. You're not just liking or commenting or just reading it. You're actually engaging with that post in a meaningful way. And this is what I see all too often is people who are entrepreneurs, they're looking to find clients and they're like, well, I'm out there, but how are you engaging, right? Like you got to go where your people are, right? So if your people are, you've identified your people again as maybe operations leaders, then you're going where those people are hanging out. Where are they? What kind of content are they engaging with? So once you found one of those kind of people, for example, that have a large following, you are engaging with their content. Don't just like or heart or whatever it might be. Actually put a comment in that adds more to the conversation, not just a thank you or that's nice or great post, my favorite, but put something in where you're actually engaging and adding value to the conversation. And then so you would do that, right? You find those people that have those decent size followings and you engage in the content in a meaningful way. So you can also go out and find groups that have folks that are in your, again, in your, the people you seek to support, your ideal clients. So for me, there's lots of great, lean groups out there, continuous improvement, lean Six Sigma groups where you can go and you can become a part of and engage with the content there. That's another great way to go and meet your people, find your people, and be an active participant in that community or with that person. And then the last part is events. Like you're right here, right now in this LinkedIn Live, right? And so there are events where they have a wide range of um, numbers of people. And I'm talking specifically here on LinkedIn because we're talking about building these connection requests. And so there are so many different events that you can go to. So you want to try to go to events that where you, again, your ideal person is going to come to. So as I was thinking about this was just a few months ago, and I had an aha moment myself where someone, I forget where someone in one of the coaching groups that I'm a part of, as I was kind of processing and talking about some frustrations in like meeting my ideal folks, was it's like, well, why don't you go to places if you're looking to help people who are starting their business, go to events that have people that are entrepreneurs or solopreneurs and how do you get started. So you just go up top into the search bar and you look into events and you type in, entrepreneur or solopreneur. You could type in operations director or plant manager or IT leader or whatever it might be, right? You put it up there and you could look for like you filter under events and you could find a list of events that might pertain to topics where your kind of people are hanging out at. So those are the three places where you would start with, right? So finding your people, that's the first step, right? So find your people and use those, different ways of finding your people and engaging with them. So right, it can't just be, oh, there they are, but we need to be engaging and and being an active participant in those events. So if you are seeing your people on posts, engage with the posts. If you're part of a group, make sure that you're engaged with the group. Events, you go on, you register for the event, and you can be an active participant in that. So then the next part, and this is the secret sauce, right? So it's finding your people and then sending personalized requests. That's the second part. And then lastly is starting a real conversation. So the second piece, and this is the most important in my view. And again, if you're here today, would love to hear where you're coming in from and what's brought you here, what has you interested in this conversation. And again, I feel like this connection piece, it is just so underutilized. And I ran a poll yesterday and was just checking out the results this morning about how many of you send blank connection requests, and it's no judgment whatsoever on like, oh, you're a bad LinkedIn member. It's just getting an understanding of how are people using the platform. And as continuous improvement practitioners, we can always learn from each other and grow. So I'd love to hear your feedback on this as well. So once you've found those people that we talked about in the first step, then you're going to send a personalized connection request. Now, some of you may be using this on a regular basis. Maybe you mix it up. Maybe you send just like you hit the connect button once you found a person. And again, once you go to these events and you're like, okay, these are great people that I want to connect with. A thing that I look for with people that I want to connect with are they active on the platform? Are they here? Maybe they're posting, maybe they're not. You can go into the person's profile. You can look at their activity, so you can look at if they posted recently. So if they haven't been on for like 3 months, or they just came on recently, but they are only on every 3 weeks, is that somebody you want to be potentially starting a conversation with? You have to work backwards, right? If there's somebody that's only on like they're on today and this week, but they weren't on for like 2 years before, of course, maybe they're in a place where they're looking for a job, and which is all fine. But you have to think about who are the people you're looking to reach. If that's the kind of person, great, cool, then do that. But if you're looking for someone that you're looking to have a conversation with, and they're only on every 3 months, are you going to be able to have a meaningful conversation with them? So, looking for those people that are active. Maybe they're not posting, but you can look in their reactions in the tab of the reactions. Are they engaged with the platform? If they are like, a few days every week, great. Then if you're starting a conversation that they're going to be, you know, they'll likely see your personalized connection request, and that there could be potential for a meaningful conversation happening. So that's what we're always looking for as entrepreneurs, or even if you're like a job seeker and you're looking to meet with a recruiter or a leader or somebody like that. You If you're looking to start a meaningful conversation, like, it's helpful that they're actually on the platform on a regular basis. If they're not on LinkedIn, you're sending a DM to them, it's going to go out into the atmosphere and they're never going to reply back to your message. So this is a great way to vet that from the very beginning, is to see, okay, you know how often are they on the platform? So when you're sending a personalized request, that okay, likely they're here, they're around, they're engaged, they're commenting, they're liking, they're posting, all those things. Those are the kind of people that you want to be engaging with and sending a personalized request to. So with those personalized requests, so once you've gone on the post, you've gone to the event, you've gone to the group, and you see that, then you're going to go into um, the their profile. And instead of hitting just that connect button, which will send them a just like a connection request that's blank, it just says, "Hey, Joe sending you a connection request." You want to go into and on the I forget how it's like done on the app, but it's sending a personalized request. It's a drop down. I believe there's three dots, and then you choose like send a personalized request. And that's what you want to do. Do not send that blank request. If you're looking to do something with intention, we want to have intention. And especially when you do this, you're going to differentiate yourself from everybody out on the platform. If you're a job seeker or you're looking to build a client, I can tell you, and I haven't done the statistics, I really should, from people who send me connection requests, because the vast majority, if I get 20, the vast majority of them, I would say probably 17 to 18. So 80 to 90% are blank requests. And the other 5 to 10, 15% are, you know, generic, personalized requests. So this is where it's beautiful when you send a request to somebody that's personalized. So if you stop by a post from somebody like, Katie Anderson or Patrick or Paul, it's like, "Hey, Jane, I saw we both stopped by the post the other day from Paul, and really love that conversation around, tier two huddle boards, and it was really awesome. It's so cool about what power we can have in those. Would love to connect if that's your jam or you're up for that." And that really right there, it doesn't have to be anything like deep or meaningful. Definitely not a sales pitch. So it's not an inbox message, just to be clear. This is a personalized request. So you have 300 characters. So you're not looking to like pitch or like say, "Oh yeah, I'm this candidate for this job." It's creating a personalized request, right? It'd be like you're walking up to somebody um in a restaurant or a bar, and you're trying to meet somebody. You're not like pitching yourself, right? Like you're just looking to start a conversation, right? As a human being. So when you're sending those requests, think about how that would sound in a conversation. If you walked up to somebody at a bar, would how would this sound? Would it be awkward? And Lord knows I am the king of awkward. So I can do this. I can do this really, really well. Uh, so I always like try to run that by like when I'm sending the request, like, okay, how does this sound in terms of a conversation? Because I think we can get I can get in my head and like it just doesn't sound great. So I always try to come back to, okay, how does this sound? Like if I speak this out, like how would that sound in real life? Because yeah, like I said, I can be the king of awkward. So make sure that it connects to like, "Hey, saw that we were both at this event, and really thinking about this topic of entrepreneurship," or "I love this topic of whatever it is about supply chain or operations, you know, and would love to connect." And so that is like a human, like, ah, conversation. That's like you're starting a conversation, you're building like a platform for where you want to take this. And it starts by connecting at a human level. So sending that personalized connection request, finding a point of connection with them. So when you send that request, it's based on a place where you both are at like a mutual interest, a mutual thing that connects you, and not just some random thing that you're pulling out of nowhere, right? It needs to be something where you do that. Now, um, one of the coaches that I work with, he takes it to even another level, right? Like you're looking for folks that are active on the platform. So if they're posting regularly, and you're not connected with them, of course, you want to engage in their content. And then once you engage with their content, then you would say, oh man, hey, I saw your posts on these over the last few days, and I'm really loving what you're putting out there. Would love to connect. Right. So that's a great way, right? It shows that you're interested. You've already, commented on a couple of their posts, then you do that. So that's like ideal scenario. If you're really engaging, if they're if there's somebody that's on LinkedIn and they're um, posting regularly, that's wonderful, right? That's ideal. A lot of folks that I connect with, that isn't the case. They're like liking and engaging with posts, um, but not necessarily posting every day. So that's why I might say, I see we both stopped by this post and around whatever the topic might be, automation or AI or this, and just write like a little, like, yeah, isn't it crazy how things are just blowing up with Chat GPT lately? And would love to connect. So we have those first two pieces, right? You find your people, you send that personalized connection request. Please, 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 if you take anything from our conversation today, it's that you're sending personalized connection requests from here on out. That's what I want you to be doing if you aren't already. So find your people. Where are they hanging out at? Like, make sure that you're focused on that. Where are those people hanging out at? So you know your people. Where are they hanging out at? Okay, now send a personalized request. This is the platform for jumping off into a actual conversation. So it means starting a real conversation. And next week, we're going to talk about actual, like, here's kind of the process for having a conversation with somebody, like a real conversation. But this is the start, right? This is the jump start that want you to try and see about how this goes. So, um, starting a conversation, and this was actually a tip that somebody gave me. They were kind enough to provide this feedback to me because I had sent a connection request to them, and I forget the question. Like once they connected, I asked them a question, and they were like, "That sounds like a pitch to me." Like, and I've had folks say this before. And like, man, that sounds like I've had a couple folks like, okay, but the first question that you're jumping in on, like, that sounds like a pitch to me. And I was like, damn, that's not what I want. That's not who I am. That's not how I want to show up. My goal is to support folks in their journey. And I don't want them to feel like, oh my God, like I'm going to be sold and take advantage of. That's not my heart. That's not what I want to do. I want to help people move forward on their journey. So this person gave me feedback about, like, hey, I get where you're coming from. You're looking to build connections and start conversations. Might I offer this way to initiate that? And I just absolutely loved it. And he said, just simply ask them, how are things going with your work these days? And I was like, oh, yeah, like that's like how, like, if you were to walk up to somebody in the store and like have a conversation with somebody, like, and you're like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. Like, how are things going with, your plant management work these days, right? Obviously, you're not BFFs. You haven't had like an in-depth conversation, but you can tell by their profile, just by, I always like to look and see, okay, what's their passion? If they have a role, like if they're, an IT person or a leader in change management, hey, how's your change management work these days? It's so low resistance, right? It's not like so this is once they've accepted the connection request. So you've gone, you found the where your people are hanging out, you sent that request. Now they've accepted it, and they may or may not have sent you a message in reply. Vast majority of time, I'll get like a thanks or a not, like nothing. And that's okay. That's all good. They've accepted the connection request, and now is the opportunity to like start a conversation and see where it can go, right? You don't know where it's going to go unless you start something. So once you sent that personalized connection request, I mean, you could leave it, right? Like, and I don't know what percentage of folks do this, or you could do this. How are things with your operations leadership work these days? Just that simple. Hey, Jonathan, really appreciate the connection. Thanks so much. How are things going with that you know, the operations leadership work these days. And then just leave it at that. No, like, oh, I'm looking for a new role, or hey, I've got this great, you know, 3-part, A3 training video course that you should really take and it'll be helpful for you. You don't know if you're a good fit or could even help them. We have to even get to that point. And that's what we'll be talking about next week, is being able to uncover that and the questions to ask and how to go about doing that. But the first place is people aren't going to open up to you in a conversation if you start by doing that. If you start with, like, first of all, with a blank request, you're missing an opportunity to start a conversation. And then second, when you're looking to start a conversation, we need to start it like we're having a real conversation, like you're walking up to somebody at a bar. Now, that's not my jam. Happily married, 21 years. But if you're even looking to have a conversation, just building a friendship in the store at the checkout aisle, like you're not like, hey, I see you do this. Would you like this? Like, no, we want to be human in our conversations, right? We're starting a conversation with somebody. So use that one line. And I'm so thankful that that person provided that feedback, because this is when I have gotten the connection request back. This is what, like, literally every single conversation starts with this question, because this opens the door. It's low resistance, right? If you're looking to start a conversation, you're not looking to overwhelm or to be too much or too little, right? Like if you say nothing, there's gonna be no conversation. Oh, or nice to meet you, there's no platform for a conversation to go on. But if you're just asking somebody, how are things going? Most people are gonna be like, at least, or like a good or great. And a lot of folks will like, oh, actually, like, we're really working on this, or man, this, project I'm working on is sucking ass. Like, and there you go. There's your open door to having a conversation. And next week, what we're going to do is we're going to see, like, you know your people, you found your people. First step we talked about today in those different places, right? The posts, the groups, the events. You sent that personalized request, and now you've got a conversation actual started with a person that you really want to get to know and see if it'd be a good fit to support them. So this is where it all goes. So find your people, send a personalized request, and start a conversation with a real human being. So, man, I love this conversation. I get super passionate about it. And if you're in that place right now where you're like, man, I'm feeling stuck. I want to do my own thing. Like the marketing, the getting to know people, having meaningful conversations is a struggle. This is for you. And if you're like, I need to go deeper, I need more support on that. That's what I'm here for. Shoot me a DM. Let me know. Let's start a conversation. Let's have a conversation about working to support you in this journey. Now, next week, next Tuesday, we'll be back with another live coaching session. And Ruth Stanley is going to be joining me. She's an author and a coach, a practitioner. She's going to be hopping in the seat, and we're going to be having a fantastic conversation supporting her and what's on her mind on Tuesday. And again, next Thursday, we're going to take this again, connection, conversation, call, client. We're going to be talking about how to have a conversation, be a real human with another human as you look to find someone that you can support in your work or somebody in your journey. So thanks again for being here for this fun episode. Man, I've had a blast. Drop in the comment, like, what's your favorite part? Is this a load of hooey? Do you do personalized connection requests? And what have you found has worked for you? Would love to hear from you. Thanks again. Love y'all. Have a fantastic weekend. We'll catch you next week.